Hey, what's up, Justin here, and what I wanted to talk about today is spirituality. So if you're not into spirituality, maybe you can look at it as a thought experiment, or maybe you can look at it as a set of vocabulary that is available to you that you can use to explain certain phenomena, certain complex thoughts or feelings, or certain experiences that might happen to you. As long as you're open-minded to it, I think there's a lot of valuable and deep information and lessons about the universe that are out there in various spiritual teachings. Now, let's not talk too much about maybe just random spiritual concepts and theories and philosophies. I wanted to talk a little bit more about practical spiritual concepts that maybe can help you on your day-to-day life and more on a practical basis. So the first concept I wanted to talk about would be something like looking at everything as an omen or a lesson. So if you look at maybe looking at things as an omen or a lesson, like certain things that happen to you, there's two ways of going about it. Like, not things that you do, but things that happen to you. You can either look at it as some sort of random accident or, just some annoying thing. Or you can maybe look at things that happen to you as like, what's the universe trying to teach me? What's God trying to teach me? What's the lesson here? And I think, in my opinion, if you're clued into this way of thinking, first of all, you're more likely to sort of address and be able to identify certain patterns of things that might be happening to you based on your behaviors, and you'll be able to adjust a little bit more. But it's also a little bit more interesting, and it'll also make your mind a little bit more curious. And when you've got that curious, childlike mind, you're more likely to go about things and learn more and become better at various things because you're more clued into that curious mindset. So when you're doing things maybe in a negative way and negative things start happening to you, and you're clued into that way of thinking, like, what's God trying to show me here when this bad thing happens to me? Maybe I'll adjust my way of thinking and become a little bit more positive. Just as an example, something like that, then you're more likely to get into that sweet spot where you can improve a little bit more, you learn more, and you just become better at everything because you're more curious, you're more switched on, and you're more trying to interpret things in a way that's maybe identifying certain patterns. Okay, I think this is really beneficial, and I think it's a really fun way to live my life as well. I like to do that all the time. Just when I'm driving, I think maybe random things that have happened to me, what's the lesson here? Okay, now let's look at the second concept of something like karma. Now, I think karma is really cool as well because I think it really helps me work. Because when I'm doing work, or maybe I'm doing things like maybe I'll pick up a little bit of rubbish in an oval where no one obviously is going to thank me or appreciate it or anything like that, and it's just me by myself, it helps you with just trusting that something good is going to come out of it. So when you're working by yourself, or maybe you're doing tiny little things like paying attention to the details that no one's going to notice and things like that, it's kind of cool to just have that sort of karmic concept in your head because you've got this safe feeling in your chest where you're just trusting the universe is going to give you some sort of reward for all the hard work that you've put into something. So karma as well can help you if someone is being weirdly negative or something like that to you as well. Maybe it can give you that safe feeling as well where you can sort of relax and think maybe karma will sort this whole situation out with this other person. And I think that's a really cool concept as well. Now let's look at the third concept of purpose. Now, purpose is the idea of everyone is put here for a reason to do something with their life that's maybe a life project or some sort of task or some sort of purpose. This is extremely practical on a daily basis as well. Now, if you think of purpose as like maybe you've got something to do, right? Then when you've got something to do, when you've got a mission in life, people will naturally just be drawn around you because you just got that confidence about you because you know you're doing something. I mean, it is pretty random to just pick something to do and just do it, like I get that. And maybe people just need to justify themselves with spiritual thinking to maybe think that they've got a purpose. But it can give you a context to everything that's happened to you. And it also helps with just having like assertive body language and just going about something and knowing you're on God's path or maybe the path of the universe or something. And it also gives you some context to maybe use your blessings as well. So maybe if you're blessed with an extremely athletic body or something like that, it's kind of like maybe in Taoism they teach you should be doing what you're good at, and it's your purpose to maybe put some use to that athletic body, maybe go out there, play some sport and try and inspire some people or something like that. Or maybe if you're blessed with being good at something else, like a little drawing task, or I don't know, whatever it is, if you're really good at something, it can give you some idea of having that purpose because you've been blessed with this ability and you should put it to some sort of use. It can help with motivation, drawing people around you into this awesome life that you've created because you've on your purpose. And it also helps with you just not being needy towards other people. Because when you've got a mission, there's something that you know you're doing or God's told you to do, whatever it is, then people are just going to be drawn around someone who just doesn't need them at all. You can take it or leave it. You can have that carefree attitude where you don't care what other people do. You're just indifferent to other people completely because you know you're on some sort of spiritual purpose yourself. So if you look at omens and things like lessons, like things that are happening to you as lessons, can make you more curious. If you look at karma as something that maybe can help you work more, and if you look at purpose as something that can maybe motivate you and draw people around you, this way of spiritual thinking, you can completely understand, in my opinion, why people might be just completely spiritual, completely devoted, and they know that God's got their back. They can give you some context to everything that's happened to you, and if you just trust in the process, try some of these thought experiments out then maybe you can become more spiritual and just have a fun, interesting life. So I hope you guys get some sort of value from this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.